celebrate it and be glad. For some of you, this will be the end of secondary education. And for all of you, it should be the transition or the beginning of post-secondary education. Continue to lift your light and work hard, because as this new generation, the Gen Z, you too have your mission in life. Is a young man or young woman who will pioneer the next generation solution. And for this, we are happy to partner with Steths to ensure that they are prepared to take on such endeavor. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step. And also, success does not come overnight. It requires hard work, commitment, and dedication. And these are exemplified in our motto, work and integrity. Graduates, remember that the heights by great men, reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. Continue to soar to new heights as we continue to provide the best support of your educational sojourn. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby King, for the greetings. Now we will hear from our very own principal, Mr. Keith Wellington, as he brings to us the principal's report. Put your hands together for Mr. Keith Wellington.
You're just joining. We are at Steths Graduation 2020.
Thank you very much,
Principal is on podium to present his report.
Co-host, but more importantly, chairman of the
Again,
school board,
welcome all those who are
Mr. Yannick
joining
Watson,
us.
member of
Steths
parliament,
Graduation
Mr. Delroy
2023.
Slowly, our QEC coordinator,
Look at
Mr.
the
Gregory
head
King,
table, nicely
the
arrayed,
speaker, Dr. Orville Taylor,
decorated.
other invited guests on the platform, Vice Principals Holness and Kogel, members of the academic, administrative, and ancillary staff, parents, well-wishers, graduates, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We have 4 hours to go, you can't sound like this in the first 50 minutes. Good morning, everyone. Alright, I try my very best to cut down on that 4 hours by not spending an hour out of it up here. I understand, I see the programs fanning away, and I see the portable fans, and I must acknowledge that this is the type of environment that we ask our students to learn in every day in Santa Cruz. And so I want you to give them a hand for having persevered through all of this. Someday, we may be able to create a more friendly environment for our students to learn. But I must commend them for getting this far. In 2018, when this batch of students started their high school in primary school, they would have reasonably expected to have 5 great years at Steths. When they completed their first year in 2019, June or August, they could not have imagined that they would never spend another full year at Steths again until their final year in grade 11. And so let me start by acknowledging the challenges that these students had to overcome over those 3 years almost. And while what happened may have been viewed as a medical problem, it created a number of other problems that I'm sure our sociologists on the platform today will make reference to the severe impact that those 3 years of medical, political, sociological, all kind of ills would have had on them. Nonetheless, I'm here to report on the 2022 to 2023 school year. We, as I said, resumed for the first time since 2019 our school year at the customary date of first Monday in September, for the first time since 2019 September. We started out with a few challenges, chief of which was the loss of 6 teachers to teaching opportunities in the UK, the USA, and Kuwait. During the course of the year, we lost additional teachers to teaching opportunities abroad. And so, it was not necessarily a stable year for our students, who in some instances may have had 3 or 4 different teachers teaching them during one school year. During the course of the year as well, we lost an outstanding member of staff who had retired some years ago as vice principal, but continued to serve this institution as one of our track and field coaches, Mr. Eldemire Smith. We also lost a serving member of staff, Mr. Delroy Sr. from the talk shop, as well as another former teacher, Mr. Garth Muir. I want us to acknowledge the passing of those 3 persons by observing a brief moment of silence to recognize their contribution to this institution. May their souls rest in peace, like perpetually shine. Throughout the period of the pandemic, as a school, we were fortunate to have the support of a number of our stakeholders. And when we resumed full school for the first time, a full school year we started in September, we were happy that the support that we got from our various staff, our school board, our PTA, our alumni association, and our various community sponsors and supporters continued and contributed to what we believe was a successful school year. I want to particularly mention our PTA executive, which for the first time, I think in my tenure at Steths, has been extremely involved in the day-to-day activities of the school. I want to acknowledge Mrs. Wick Brown, who has a number of roles. She is a PTA president, so obviously she's a parent. She's a board member, deputy chair of the board, and I think the most critical thing, what makes her good, is the fact that she's a past student of this institution. And she's your chief public health inspector for the parish as well. Right, so I want to acknowledge the support that Mrs. Wynne Brown and her team, very supportive team, has given us throughout the year. During the course of the year, we would have had a number of challenges. I made reference to the social technological issues that we would have encountered. Many of our students, especially our younger ones, would have come back to the school setting without being fully adjusted to fit into the requirements and the expectations that we have of them as a school. We are very happy that the PTA continues to understand that they must play a role in ensuring that these students are cultured in a way to make them worthwhile students in the first instance and productive and worthwhile citizens in the future. One activity that suffered significantly during the COVID was the work experience and community service that our senior students are expected to participate in. This year group was fortunate that we were able to resume that activity, and I am sure that the experience gained on the job for those 2 weeks and the opportunity to participate in community service would have served them well and has served them well for the future. We continue to partner with various entities and agencies, so we have since 2021 started a partnership with the UE Home Campus to offer our services at Steths as a base for students who wish to study online with the University of the West Indies and have access to the various portals and lecturers here at Steths. We continue to believe that our students' education is about not just providing them with knowledge, but more importantly with skills that will allow them the opportunity to make positive contributions to our society as not just users of or consumers of products, but producers of goods and services. As such, we have been having ongoing discussions and partnerships with the HEART MTA to ensure that opportunities are provided for our students for skills training as well as certification. So last summer, in an effort to keep our students engaged, having returned from COVID in January of 2022, we had a summer school program where HEART played a significant role in ensuring that our students got the opportunity for training in areas like robotics, creative cooking, floral arrangement, fashion and design, nail care, leadership development, social media management, dancing, motor vehicle repairs, art and craft, greenhouse technology, amongst other activities. This year, starting July 10th, we will continue with that program. So some of our graduates who may have studied various areas at Steths, including electrical, computer technician, whatever other areas you did at Steths, there is the opportunity for you to come back to Steths and participate in the certification program with HEART during this summer. And I think that's a good thing that deserves a hand. Our alumni associations continue to offer tremendous support to our schools, not just by providing cash to care, but providing mentorship to our students, advice to faculty, as well as the opportunity for training and recreation for some of our staff members. So last summer, before the start of the school year, through the instrumentality of our Alumni Association and our school board, we were able to afford the entire staff an opportunity for a 24-hour stay at the Grand Bahia Princess Hotel in our Alumni Association for the support they are giving to us. Today, one member of the New York chapter will be here to share briefly with us on a program they have and a set of scholarship that they will be offering for the new school year. During the course of our school year, obviously we would have been given the opportunity to go back to regular school activities. And as such, students got the opportunity to participate in activities such as their exams, which is number one. We were able to engage our parents in various parenting workshops geared at helping them to better deal with the issues they encounter with their children on a day-to-day basis. We were able to reintroduce our Heritage Day activities, prize giving, our College Day activities, installation of school leaders. Our students participated in the Governor General's Youth Consultation session. We were selected to host the National Social Media Day by the Jamaica Teaching Council. We were also selected to host World Water Day on behalf of Jamaica, on behalf of the Ministry of whatever that long name the ministry is, Economic Growth and Development. We also continued various activities such as emergency drills, 4-H club activities, our fun day, our student empowerment day, staff development sessions. We introduced an art fair this year, and I'm sure Mr. Lewis will tell you that, parents. Mr. Lewis, can we have the art pieces on display after the function? So we had the opportunity to display your students' work, and on sometime in March, where those work went on sale, and the funds from that was used or is being used to upgrade our visual arts department. Our students were also involved in various entrepreneurial activities, including our grade 9 students being given the opportunity to create their own business ideas and business plans and present it to the rest of their classmates in an opportunity to teach them the value of entrepreneurship. While I'm reporting on the 2022-2023 school year, I am sure you would not mind me acknowledging our staff, all our staff, and in particular our academic staff for the work that they have done over the years. Pre-COVID, our CXC pass rate was at 85%, meaning that for every 10 subjects that were sat at Steths, and normally we have, because we have a cohort of approximately 300 grade 11 students each year, it means that on average we have close to 2,000 subjects being sat. For every 10 subjects or for every 20 subjects that are sat, 17 are passes, so only 3 failures for each 20 sitting of a subject at Steths. Pre-COVID. The bad news is that COVID has had a significant impact on those results. So last year, our average pass rate fell to 73%, which means that it fell to just over 14 subjects out of every 20 sat. Obviously, we do not want that decline to continue. And based on the smiles I saw coming from our current grade 11 students, don't disagree with me. Based on the smiles I saw coming from your face after each exam this year, I am sure we will return to where we were pre-COVID this year. Are you in agreement with me? Look here, you have already sat the exam and the results can't change. Are you in agreement with me that I am going to be extremely proud of you when the results come in August? Okay, thank you very much. So for last year, just to give you a quick summary of last year, for that 72% average, we still have some outstanding areas. For example, all the following subjects had a 100% pass rate: history, building technology, physical education and sports, agriculture and science. Mrs. Wallace, what's the correct name for clothing and textile? Textile, fashion and design, 100% as well. Home economic management, 100%. Theater arts, 100%. Office administration, 100%. So those 8 subjects all had 100% pass. And each subject, we had as many as 63 students, sitting those subjects. So those were not small numbers. With the numbers, the only 2 being small numbers was history, clothing and textile, and home ec management. All the others were 30 students or more, and all of them passing. We had 98% passes, 95 and above for electrical technology, information technology, electronic document preparation and management, and food and nutrition. In the 70s, we had biology, English literature, human and social biology, social studies, mechanical technology, technical drawing, English language, principles of business. No, principles of business was 85% actually. So all the precedings were 70%. And those two subjects that we had performing below our expectations, accounts at 67%, integrated science at 61%, Spanish at 61% as well, chemistry, physics, geography, and maths, with maths, geography, and physics under 50%. So those areas in particular would have contributed to the decline in our percent passes. At the Cape level, we normally average over 90% for Cape. This last year we fell to 80 in Sociology Unit 2, Biology Unit 2, Animation and Design Unit 2, Law Unit 1 I think, Physical Education and Sport, while we had over 90% pass in Chemistry Unit 1, Communication Studies, Environmental Science, Management of Business, Biology, Sociology, 95%, on Sociology Unit 1. Unit 2 was 100%, sir. Unit 2 was 100%, Unit 1 was 95%. And these are good numbers. We're talking about large classes for sociology. And in the 80s, electrical and electrical technology, financial services, management of business, geography was 100%, pure maths 71%, pure maths unit 1 71%, and accounting unit 1 84%. So overall, we had outstanding results at the Cape level. My charge, in closing, I want to say a few words to our graduates. In thinking about how you will move forward, I'm asking that you do so with a kind heart, a stout work ethic, and a positive outlook. 3 things: a kind heart. Many of the issues we have as a country today, it is because of what we lifelessness of some of our colleagues, our fellow citizens. If we have a kind heart, we are going to treat others with respect. We are going to love each other, and we will create an environment that we can all live comfortably in. A stout work ethic. You attended a school for 5 years where our motto is work and integrity. I do not need to explain, you would have heard it many times, what work and integrity means. So I ask that whatever you do, your work must be ethical. And of course, in a society where we are surrounded with so many negatives, it is important that we have a positive outlook on life. And so, whatever our circumstances are, I know, for example, that we have someone sitting beside you in the crowd, in the gown, who lost his father less than a week ago through criminal circumstances. Whatever circumstances you are going through, I encourage you to have a positive outlook, because your mindset will get you halfway there without you making one step forward. Your mindset, a positive mindset, will get you there. And before I close, I make one other request of you, and that is to thank someone who helped you through this year. Your teachers worked hard with you this year. Thank them. Please do now. Thank them. Your friends, that is your real friends, they checked on you even when they had their own challenges. your families. It has not been easy. They carried you even when they had their challenges. Thank them. Please thank them. And thank you for being great students.
That was our principal, Keith Wellington. Promised to be short, and he was, but there was some sound words. Again, if you're joining, if it's Steths Graduation
Graduates, you're
2023
leaving a
live,
legacy. Parents,
and podium now is
relatives,
our
we
chairman.
thank you. We heard the principal. Yui is here. Enhanced summer program. Mentorship. College Day. Social media. World Water Day. Art Fair. Entrepreneurship. Your favorite good passes. You know, a phenomenal. Okay, he's giving me the best part. So he.
Against
I won't take this from
2023.
Yes, so two things, right? The not so good news, we also lost another former member of staff, Mr. Vince Roy Blake, and we want to acknowledge the service of Mr. Blake to this institution as well. On the brighter side, sometimes we ignore the best about us. And you notice I said nothing about sports. We said nothing about sports, although we have world champions, we have national champions, we have world beaters in the year group. So I want to acknowledge all those students who participated in our various sporting activities this year. Our cricketers continue to be the beacon that they have always been for the last 40 odd years. Our footballers, we were national champions at under 16, we were champions at under 14. Track and field, we were in the top 5 at champs, including we had a number of students who represented Jamaica, both at Caribbean at the World Championships and were medalists. So I want to acknowledge those students as well. As well as one other thing that what we did really well this year, we introduced robotics. And our robotics team has been doing very well. They were third in the robotics competition, and this is after doing robotics for just a year.
Yeah.
So Mr. Greenley,
outstanding.
commendations. And we also want to congratulate the students. Some of them are moving on to the University of Technology, but we want to acknowledge all the good things. But I know as parents you would have heard about many of this already.
All right, thank you. And this does not happen without good foundation. And to add to that, we started the football academy, starting at age 6 years. So for parents within the vicinity of Santa Cruz, South Junction, that is, you can bring your children to St. Elizabeth Technical on a Saturday morning or a Friday evening, and yes, we have that going. We're looking to expand that with hopefully building out our capacity for tracks at that level as well, and cricket, because I believe that Steths will have to do something about cricket in Jamaica or the West Indies. So we are looking at building from that age so we can hold our community together. We can offer more opportunities to the students, the young ones, teach them more about the viability of sports. When you have the academics and you have the sports with it, trust me, you're going far. There's not much to stop you beyond that. So, your principal again, we thank you for your report. I believe that you're a phenomenal leader, and of course, you'll lead a phenomenal staff. Give him a round of applause for that. All right, So our next item will be by our choir, and after that we'll have remarks from the Member of Parliament, Mr. Delroy Slowly.
That's our chairman, Mr. Yanni Watson,
So the choir.
chairman of the Board of Governors of the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. School choir will now render their item. Sir, hello, hello, hello.
No, I didn't see it.
Thank
God is good. All the time. He is good indeed. I can't help it. You know, all that I am ever hope to be is in His hands. And so I always have to give Him the praise and give Him the glory. Amen. I was asked, to keep it short. So in the interest of time, I just want to greet the members of the head table. Greetings to you. But it would be remiss of me not to bring greetings to our VIP persons who are the graduating class of 2023. Give it a hand for the VIPs of 2023. Yes, these are the game changers. They are the future leaders of Jamaica. And so we have to honor them, encourage them, and pray for them, and motivate them.
And he's addressing the
thanks also to the staff, the teachers especially, who made today possible. The sacrifice that they put in. We know how difficult it has been, especially COVID. We spoke about COVID and the impact of COVID, the negative impact, but they stood and they rose to the occasion and they delivered them. And so today we have our VIPs who are now transitioning to greater places of education. To the parents who are here, we thank you very much. I bring you warm greeting. And so I'm quickly gonna go into it and cut my time. As I said, two persons said to me, keep it short. First thing, Steths, home of true champions. Give it up for St. Elizabeth Technical High School, the home of true champions. But I want to say to you that Steths is not merely the building that is there. Steths has to do with you. You are going to be going out there. You are going to be representing Steths, and you're going to be an ambassador out there. You're going to be lifting the banner high. Teachers have invested in you. Parents have invested in you. The principal and vice principals have invested in you. The Ministry of Education have invested in you. And we are expecting return on investment. As a businessman, I have to speak along those lines. It's about returns that you bring. And so we are expecting great things from you. Your principal spoke about kind heart and work and integrity. And I'd love to just piggyback on that for just a short moment. The thought came to me this morning, and what I say is reciprocity of respect. In everything that we do, whatever it is, each time it has a cause and effect. And our nation is facing a crisis where there's such lack of respect for each other. When you go in the transportation centers, the way that we operate with each other, when you go on the street, the different disrespectful behavior that we encounter. And I say to you also is that I am asking you and admonishing you to understand that you can make that difference. You can decide to change the tide of the way things are going and to stand up for what is right, to be respectful, to be courteous. In fact, it has never cost me a penny to be respectful to persons. It has never cost me a penny for good mannerism. And let me tell you something, as a businessman of this town of St. Louis, I'm telling you something, respect is something that can bring you great gain. Somebody at times would take up the telephone and call me. They have a piece of land to sell and they'll call me. They avoid calling somebody else who can pay more. You know why? Because of respect, how you relate to others, how you treat other persons. And I'm saying to you that yes, you are excelling and you are doing well, but you're going to need other persons to help you along the way. You're going to need persons to open doors for you at times. Because let me tell you something, in life, yes, it is up to us to do well, but in life it's about 10% gift and 90% application and effort. What I'm talking about all the talents that you have, all the gift that God can give to you. You understand that there are times that you have to depend on others. And if there are times, all the gifts and the talents, it won't qualify to take you to the top. You will have to put in some things. And we talk about going to desire, drive, and determination. Desire and drive and determination will get you up at 4 o'clock in the morning to work on the gift and the talent that God has given to you. Desire, drive, and determination will keep you up 1, 2, and 3, and 4 o'clock, burning the midnight oil. Gift and talents doesn't do that. It's about what you apply, what the effort is about, what you bring to the table also. The next thing I want to go on is about, I spoke to Mr. Principal while he was there. There is something here that I saw about Chairman's Award, Wellington's Award, and Sports Award. And I said to him that I felt left out this year. And I don't want to be left out the next time around. So I am putting it here because I believe in placing money where your mouth is. And we have duty and responsibility in investing in our future leaders. We can only speak about things, but we have to go into our pocket sometimes and basically show it what it is that we need. And so as I stand here today, not as a member of parliament, but as a businessman of the community, because our principal, he doesn't tolerate politics too much. So I say to you, as True Bargain Hardware CEO, that I am saying I am putting $100,000 on the table, and it's going to be split for 2 of your high performers. We're not saying yes if it is top girl and top boy, but we will discuss it along with the chairman. Well, I'm not sure. You're saying most improved, but we will discuss. I'm placing $100,000 on the table for 2 persons that we will have discussion about. Okay? And so for the next year, I want to see something here. Whether they're going to put True Bargain Hardware or Delaware slowly, you don't have to put MP, but something must be placed here. That I am a part of this, because I am a part of the Steths institution. I say it all the time. The first business subject that I aced with was principles of accounts. It was Steths that pulled me through. Monroe did not offer it, but Steths offered it, and I wanted it. And today it has helped me to be a successful businessman, if I may say it. And so I have vested interest in Steths. Steths and Monroe have had some serious rivalries. Hard, I'll say. Things are running easier now. But I dare to say that Steths has benefited from Monroe in the form of Mr. Keith Wellington. He has been doing a great, terrific, wonderful, awesome job here at Steths. And I dare to say that Monroe could take some lessons from Steths at this time. And we will all agree on that. And so Steths is really doing extremely well. As I say to the students, that Steths is not just the mere buildings that we're seeing here. It's a beautiful building, beautiful grounds, thanks to principal and the team. But Steths represents you who are going forward. Steths represents what you will bring to the table. And Steths is depending on you. Santa Cruz is depending on you. St. Elizabeth is depending on you. And Jamaica is depending on you. And I said, dream big, work hard, and attain what you alone can make. And you can make it happen. Whatever it is in life that you want to be, it can be done. And I'm going to say the last thing just before I go. Mr. Principal, we have a unique gift and ability that God has gifted us with. We can become what we want to be in life. The goat can only remain a goat for the rest of his life. The cat can remain a cat for the rest of their life, and the pig likewise. But we can become what we want to be. It is not where we're coming from, but it's where we're going. Trusting in God, working hard, applying ourselves, and attaining that which we will. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Delaware slowly.
A big round of applause for MP Delaware slowly. How can we not say Steths is the home of true champions? So I want the graduates with me and everybody say Steths, home of true champions. Steths. Again, Steths. Home of true champions. So we have heard from the choir. We've heard from MP Delaware slowly. So now we will hear from the teacher's desk. And to bring the report from the teacher's desk, we will invite Miss Vanessa Forbes and Mr. Brian Gale. Put your hands together for Miss Forbes and Mr. Gale.
As they come, we look on the order of the service again, trying to get it as best as possible. Order of the ceremony. Mr. Gale and Ms. Forbes on the teacher's desk.
Chairman, Mr. Watson, other members of the Board of Governors, Member of Parliament, Mr. Slowly, Education Officer, Mr. King, Principal, Mr. Keith Wellington, Vice Principals, Mrs. Sandra Hones and Mr. Nigel Kogel, Guest Speaker, Dr. Orville Taylor, distinguished guests on the platform, academic, administrative, and ancillary staff members, parents and guardians, friends, and other well-wishers, graduates, a pleasant morning.
As the end of your journey through school approaches and you stand on the cusp of graduation, we, the teachers, find ourselves filled with a mix of emotion. On one hand, we're immensely proud of the person you have become, the growth you have shown, and the accomplishments you have achieved. On the other hand, it is bittersweet to say goodbye to students who have left an indelible mark on our heart and in our classroom. My dear graduates, it was Michael Josephson who stated, "Take pride in how far you have come, have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey." Graduates, another milestone has been accomplished. Yes, you are finally graduating from high school. Did it feel like forever? Absolutely not. But it is time that you have all prayed for. The time for freedom. Freedom to wear the nails, the hair, the earrings, the makeup as you always prayed. The freedom to fashion your hair without the fear of being summoned to the dean's office. The freedom of adjusting your pants to your liking. The freedom the freedom of wearing the shoes you please. Or the sign of relief when you don't have to hide from a very fast-paced gentleman approaches. Well, of course, this does not apply to the graduates coming to sixth form, but I'm sure you have mastered the dexterity of eluding and conforming.
Your journey thus far has been an intriguing one. It seems like yesterday, the year 2018, when you anxiously awaited your GSAT results. Oh, the eagerness to enter high school. For most of you, Steths was your first choice, while for others, it was the choice of your parents. But regardless of whose choice, it was the best choice made for you. From the very first day you walked through our doors, full of curiosity and anticipation, with big expectations, we nurtured and fed your minds as this was your first big transition. Some of you may have found it hard to adjust to our new learning institution, but it didn't take long for you to feel at home. It was here that you learned standing idly on the corridor was a bad idea when Mrs. Alexander was around. You just needed to hear, "Hello, boy," and everyone scrambled to their classroom. It was then that you now realized that school was about staying in your classroom, whether the teacher was there or not, though some of you did not adhere.
Grade 8 found you to be self-proclaimed seasoned student and said, However, you never got the chance to marinate fully because just as you were fully trying to manage high school life, then came the scary monster COVID-19. At first, when most of you heard the announcement that school would be closed, your excitement echoed through the walls of Steths. You sang, danced, and possibly thought that being at home was the best thing ever. However, reality struck and the challenges presented themselves. Some of you became skilled at feeding chicken while listening to Miss Bryant teaching the periodic table, or find the best location to connect to Zoom, even if it meant being in a tree. Then the challenges became more complex as your parents lost their jobs. Some of you lost loved ones, and your focus on school seemed to diminish day after day. But you know, Steths is the home of true champions, and as these champions come in the form of teachers. After realizing the challenges you were facing, a group of teachers led by Mrs. Isaac crafted a drive to supply food to families in need and entertainment. We knew coping was not easy, and to alleviate some of the pressure, DJ Jono and Miss Pusey kept you entertained with your first online concert experience. Let's not forget the exercise online led by Miss Senior, who kept you mentally and physically fit. How many of you won phone cards? Do you remember those good old days?
Grade 9 was a very interesting year in your lives. This was the year when online learning became somewhat of a norm. To some of you, it is a tumultuous experience, while to others, the best time of your life. From the student who would join the class online even before the teacher was present, to the students who joined only 5 minutes before the class ended. The online experience will definitely be one to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, the stories of the dog and my homework were a thing of the past. In this age of online learning, our students had to get more creative with their excuses. They had now evolved to, sir, the dog bounced down the internet box and it mash up, so I can't send in the work. The challenges of this school year was felt by teachers, students, parents, and I can go as far as saying that all stakeholders in education was impacted one way or another by learning the virtual space. Speaking of the virtual space, how can I forget Mommy Google Classroom or our dear sister Zoom, with whom our students have grown so close to? I'm sure you can still hear us teachers saying, "Can you see my screen? Are you hearing me?" Or, "Hold on, let me try get a better spot so the internet can pick up." And your response was, yes, total silence. These two platforms have seen and heard some wonderful things from our students and some odd things from their backgrounds, to put it lightly. Nevertheless, our students learned a myriad of skills in the virtual space.
And then came your penultimate year of standard high school life. You moved from the lower grounds for devotion, and it wasn't only a physical move, it was a mental presentation of your growth and maturity. Grade 10 was that time where the pressures of high school reality really rattled the students. No one was prepared to start SPAs at home, especially the parents. Can you imagine doing a chemistry lab experiment in mommy's kitchen? Oh Lord, definitely a recipe for disaster. I am sure your parents, like your teachers, were worried as YouTube became your best friend right next to online games. Even though the physical space had changed, what did not change was the anxiety to say, "Lord, grade 10 already?" And teachers were turning up the heat with their safety messages. The yearly warning of CSEC is just around the corner, And CSEP requires a lot of hard work, and as teachers, we have to push you to your limits regardless of your willingness or learning environment. For those of you who thought CXC well far, just look at you now. You completed your CSET examination. It wasn't far, was it? Nevertheless, looking back at grade 10, you all had to be reintroduced to the physical classroom and how to act in the school setting. Not to mention reteaching concepts taught online, as many of you had that typical blank stare that says, "What is he saying? You sure you taught that?" And we would say, "Go back to your Google Classroom notes." It was a very challenging period for you and us teachers alike. But in typical Steths fashion, when the going gets tough, we get going.
Final year in high school. And we're actually going to be at school. Your faces lit up. Oh, how nice and calm grade 11 was for you all. No SBAs, no exams, no deadlines, no stress. Okay, let us get back to reality now. This was the year when students begin to ask, "Sir, Miss, you know, go miss we." An indication of the fact that your time as students at this institution is coming to an end. At some point during your final year, you may have realized that things, whether good or bad, must come to an end. Grade 11 was highlighted by the realization that the time is drawing nearer with each passing day. SBA submissions were upon you. Science lab books needed to be written up and submitted. Practicals and portfolios to complete. You had it all to do. As customary, this is the time where laptops with the SBAs begin to malfunction. Flash drives are mysteriously wiped clean of your SBAs, and lab books miraculously grow legs and walk. The insight of how brutal us as teachers love you and cared for you, even if it meant changing the same topics 5 or 6 times, or making corrections to the same document multiple times. That is how we expressed our love. This was also the time the all too familiar saying, "Me can't bother with this, and me can't wait to leave Steths," echoed through our campus by our grade 11 students. However, you found your way past these challenges. Of course, guided by us teachers who accommodated you and even planned extra classes to ensure that all the SPAs were completed. Everything we did this year, in your eyes, may seem like a punishment, or we were just here to make your life miserable. Everything we do was done out of love. You may not see it that way now, but you will definitely understand one day. As the Jamaican proverb states, if you want good, you know it's happy run.
No one ever said that this journey would have been easy. No one else would have walked it for you. No one else can tell your stories of the laughter, sadness, frustration, disappointment, loss, success, or triumph. You have written your pages of what hard work and dedication means, feels, and looks like. This is your story. Your book is ready to be published.
Some of you students may look back and reflect on your time at Steths and say it was worth it, as you have garnered many life skills and a plethora of knowledge, as well as created lifelong friendships. All these things mean nothing if you do not use them to make yourselves, your families, and your environment a better place. I speak on behalf of all of us here, the administrative staff, the ancillary staff, and all stakeholders of Steths when I say, as you go out, invest in what you have gained here wisely. Make yourself, your families, your communities, us teachers, and the nation at large proud. Graduates, be a true champion. Work and integrity must rule.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gale and Miss Vanessa Falls from the teachers'
And
desk.
thank you. May I have a bigger round of applause for Ms. Vanessa Forbes and Mr. Brandon Gale for bringing to us the report from the teacher's desk. So now we will have another item, and this item will be from the Theatre Arts Group. Immediately after the Theatre Arts Group, we will invite Jada K. Pringle, who will bring the introduction of the guest speaker, after which we will then hear from our guest speaker, Dr. Orville Taylor. So presenting to you the Theatre Arts Group. Put your hands together.
No, money are. I think that water. This school get water.
No, that's the one that you get water.
Yeah, money get water. Get a bucket of water.
Well done, Steths Theatre Art team. Very well done, Peter and Miss.
I can tell you really enjoyed that one, didn't you? That's the theater arts group, and I tell you how wonderful they are. They have entered the Grace Jingle competition and they have won it for twice. 2 years, 3 years consecutive. So put your hands together again for the theater arts group. Excellence through work and integrity. So coincidentally, one of the young ladies who was just a part of the theater arts group is responsible for introducing our guest speaker. So put your hands together again and make welcome Jada K. Pringle.
After such a powerful performance, Joe K is back, Pringle is back to introduce the guest speaker, member of the Theatre Arts Group.
Chairman, Mr. Yanni Watson. Principal, Mr. Keith Wellington. Vice Principals, Mrs. Sandra Holness and Mr. Nigel Coble. Distinguished guests on the platform, members of the academic, administrative, and auxiliary staff, parents, guardians, well-wishers, my fellow graduates, a pleasant morning to you. It is indeed a privilege to introduce to you our guest speaker for today. Dr. Orville W. Taylor is a senior lecturer in sociology and is the former head of Department of Sociology, Psychology, and Social Work at the University of the West Indies, Mona. He's a life member of the American Association of Black Sociologists and is a scholar of Black racial issues and labor studies. He has spoken at more than 80 international and local conferences and has given more than 200 keynote speeches and addresses at seminars and other events. He has done consultation and has advised the International Labour Organization. In addition to that, he has produced studies for other Caribbean nations and the European Union. Some of the works he has contributed to are the Rule of Law Index of the World Justice Project, Jamaican Flexible Working Hours Act, and the Occupational Safety and Health Bill. He has several publications, which include his award-winning book, Broken Promises, Hearts and Pockets, A Century of Betrayal of the Jamaican Working Class. Dr. Taylor is an artist who has won several awards, and he still holds the record for being the youngest artist ever selected for Jamaica's most prestigious exhibition at the National Gallery of Jamaica. He speaks fluent French, Spanish, and French Creole. This provocative media personality writes a column in the Sunday Gleaner and is one of the hosts of the popular talk show Hotline on RJR 94 FM. In 2014, he won the prestigious Maurice Cargill Award for Opinion Journalism, and this was repeated in 2021. Dr. Taylor has contributed more than 40 years of public service. His alma mater, St. Patrick's Primary, named Taylor House after him, as well as St. George's College, honored him with the Monsignor Gladstone Wilson Award for his service to academics. He is a passionate advocate for truth and right, and his tagline for his radio show is, "Where the truth comes to live and the lies come to die." Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Orville Taylor.
Well done, Jordan. Well done, Pringle. Hey. Oh Lord, thank you very much, Jada K.
This one? Or this one? Which of the two? I'm gonna choose you. Morning, everybody. Still morning? As a matter of fact, yeah. Alright, let me hurry up and get through this thing. I know politicians make pussies that they're going to talk short and all of that, but never mind. He spoke slowly, I'm going to talk a little faster. Anyway, they said there's a formal part of it that I have to do. So there's a way to say, all courtesies observed. Yeah. But I should at least say, to the members of parliament, and political representatives who are not here, blessings, good morning. Board chairperson, other members of the board, PTA representative, representative of the Ministry of Education, principal, vice principals, other members of staff, teachers, well-wishers, everybody. You know what? We're not really business. Because if any of you over here think that you get left out, that's your business, because I never come here to talk to you anyway. So open up your feelings. Because if you think this is about you, then I've wasted my time. Am I right or am I right? You think that I would take time out of my schedule. Let me tell you just how important this is, people. My own child, my last lick, my wash back. Exactly. Last ounce, because you know he's an old man, more than one like me young. He's graduating from liquor school today in Kingston. So you understand just how important you and you are. Hard work and integrity. This is the only school apart from the high school that I went to St. George's College that I've been to, and I decided I was going to come again. I have an ambition to speak at least half of the high schools in Jamaica. And I can tell you, I still not reach up on the hill when they say certain things now go higher. But past the windmill, when I say, you know what, I'll come back a Steths. And maybe there's a certain affinity I have towards Steths, because Steths and I were almost the same age. Steths older than me by about 3 weeks. Yeah, man, a long time and about, oh, you think I'm an old man? And if you believe I'm not an old man, let me show you. Because I'm not speaking youngies or middle ages. But if you want me to talk in oldies, you ready? I can't do the old man talk and say, see ya? Huh? What we end up and all of that. Fine. I'm here, people, because you're important. You're important. I have no historical ties to St. Elizabeth. None. Matter of fact, I don't even have an ex-girlfriend down here. I didn't like a girl down here one time. I should cut her eye for me. Next time I see her, she in kid. Kid. I'm going to say to her, am I a baby? She said, nah. Look here. I have no connection here. My only connection to St. Elizabeth, my only connection to Steths is because I'm enough and I want to be part of greatness.
And I'm speaking truth, by the way, and not jest. But I want to share a little bit with you. Because many times, you know, when you get these introductions, and some people in them feelings that they think that these graduation, that these speeches are about them. You come here, you have an agenda. I don't have none. My only agenda is to spread the gift that the Lord has given me. To make you understand, so I go through something. And anything that I went through, you can go through that and be even successful at. And be make up the word, more successful. Steths Graduating class of 2023, you have come through some amazing and some difficult things. Going through COVID is not a joke. By the way, it came for me wickedly. It almost killed me. Yeah. But COVID reminded me of so many other things about my own life. Y'all think some of you poor? I wasn't poor. No, I was poor. And I hope you understand the difference between poor and poor. Anybody knows? Come over there, son. You know the difference between poor and poor? Huh? You pretty girl who black like me. The one who looks like a neon black man. That one. Shocking color black. You, that one, yeah. The difference between poor and poor is that when you're poor, you have enough money to buy the 4-letter P-O-O-R. When it's a broke, you could only buy P-O, which was poor. I tell you something. I had 2 pairs of pants in high school and 3 shirts. So you know I'm going to wash at night time. And then when that pants that I got, it was a wear and left pants. You know what's it called? Yeah? Wear and left. Hand me down. I call it a pupina. Yes. Because somebody pupina it first and me get it. And then let me tell you something too. You know people wear them clocks, you know, like the bank robber and the desert. Yeah. You know the L-stitch clocks? Yeah. Well, I had an L-stitch pants. Because you know, I don't know why. But usually when somebody pants tear at the bottom, you get that L like your learners. And it's like I was learning to wear the pants because the guy who had the pants before me was a cousin who never behaved too much like a man. So can you imagine? I was afraid that I was going to get girliness from him. So urban man, wear the pants, but if it's good. I'm like, no. So I understand poverty, I understand what it is. And if you as country people, you couldn't know about poverty, our difficulty, but you can't pick piece of yam and dig piece of yam and cut. Hello. When hungry bite your tongue, and there's some empty buckle you look for. And when you pick up 1 and 2 buckles, and you're ready to carry it in, the shopman say, you know that one is cheap. And half the bottle is lost. But I went to a school called St. George's College. You have heard of it? And it's one of those so-called traditional schools with high prestige. It has equaled out a little bit more now than in the past. But when I went to school at St. George's College, it was an elitist institution. It was, hello, even the black people them white. We were Afro-Saxons. I remember one day at St. George's graduating class. At St. George's, hear me, poor me. Boy, black like me now, I'm swearing now that this boy is, you know, like ghetto too. So me now start talking to him like me and both of my family. Because you know, so when you come from the hood, the inner cities, you kind of talk like you're a bad man, so you really want to talk, you know, see. So I said to him, my yo, and he turned to me, slowly, just taking time. Like him a blizzard name family, and turned around and say, young man, I'm not sure what kind of vernacular you're utilizing, but the language of communication and instruction in this august institution called St. George's College is the Queen's English or some approximation thereof. Until you can learn to communicate in this proper code, we shan't have any sort of conversation. Good afternoon. Same to you. Nothing. But the cool thing about it, you know, is that for all of their social antecedents, man, a father, a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, whatever it is, but none of those parents took the examination for them. So I knew that nobody was going to put any junk in my head. And so the one message I want to say to you graduating class of 2023, it really doesn't
matter where you are now. What matters is that you know where you want to go. And not even that matters. What matters is where you know you don't want to go. Let me say it again. You're 16, 17, 18, or 19. You're still like a baby. You might not know exactly what you want. But me know what me never want. I absolutely did not want a baby mother walking coming around. Bill. What? I never wanted to be raffling. And so one day for my youth, this is what. I wanted to know that when I studied for the test, I was sure I could pass it. You have man who studied for your DNA test and I know, sir. I'm still fail. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be absolutely sure. Then again, when my friends went, because I'm from an inner city school community, right? I'm from a kind of garrison. When some of my friends were telling me, boy, Bill in a breed, nothing is a breed. Inhale and exhale, that only breed me want to breed. I'm like, look, you don't understand what pampers, and in my days, and the pampers and nappy, you have to watch that with the hand. Nappy, scoop, scoop, scoops. And we are man, so when I make the knife with the hand, scoop, scoop, scoops. In water. I knew that I did not want to live a life of absolute poverty. And by the way, I don't look down on any profession whatsoever, nor do I look up on any. If you're a lawyer, or you're a doctor, you're a politician, or whatever, you know nobody more than the ordinary little man who sells peanuts. As a matter of fact, I know more liars who are academic with world degrees. One of the most honest person I know is a man who can barely read and write. I call him an ex-man because I saw him sign his name. And some of the biggest liars are people. By the way, you never notice how much time you hear about public officials getting in trouble with money. You don't know about it, don't you? Eh? The amount of money, top-and-average people, them thieving in this country, it's nothing compared to the little man. So never mind, don't be frightened for people in their position. Let me tell you something else too. I don't know what you all are going to become. Some of you are going to become doctor, some of you are going to become lawyer, some of you are going to become engineer, some of you are going to become whatever. But some of you now going to turn not like that. I don't care if you turn up into a mechanic. My mechanic make more money than me. Whenever I drive up, I can't laugh. The last time he paid my mechanic, on the car man before that 1 year, the man take the money that I pay him and sit down on the money. When I give him amount of money and I pay $5,000 bill, I give him. Him sit down on the money catch him up so much it look like him have scoliosis. If you want to become a mechanic, make sure that you do the things afterwards. I don't know what subjects you have or you will have, but make sure that you are number one, top of the line mechanic who are free for own a garage. And no time to say you're a cosmetologist, so I'm doing that, yeah. Look here, even the most, see the lawyer over here, she can't put on her own makeup in her. Right? To try a thing. Right? See? Because you have some people, and then you may have to in the word, but you have some woman, a little woman faced with me there, and I bite my tongue. And I wind up the window and I said, listen girl, you just leave me alone, and next time you're putting on your makeup, go to a cosmetologist and not to the undertaker. Oh, I'm like that. Look. So if you want to become a cosmetologist, it's fine, but become properly certified and free to own a salon.
To yourself.
It's not enough for you to want to sit down and hold a one chair. Am I right or am I right? If you want to be a farmer, no matter farm food, make sure that you really want to do it properly. I don't value anything above anything else. But what you must not fail at is as a human being. Too many people succeed by hard work and sacrifice and save money, but them fail as human beings. Some people say, I want to be a fascinating person, and they can't finish the word fascinating, them just stop at the fascinating. Absolutely. There are some people who just have no integrity. One of the worst things you can be for me is a liar. I don't care what your position is. If you're a liar, especially when you lie with other people's resources. It's bad enough when you tell your friend them like a one lie, you know. And they must say, boy, that lie, and they can buy one. But when you are in an institution, for example, and I work with some of them, by the way, and I know the laws of defamation, I work with colleagues at the University of the West Indies with more degrees than thermometer who lie till them sick in the stomach. I know doctors who are liars. I know lawyers who are liars. So I don't care about none of that. We know people who have more sense and integrity than teeth. I like a man who can be able to read and write. You know them little old man there. A little old man who was never told a lie. My heroes are ordinary people. My heroes are ordinary people who do the right thing. No one then you have somebody on feature and profile. You ever wonder who you've never seen me on profile? Because I don't need profile. I don't need profile. Because all the time they are featuring somebody, watch me, somebody who supposedly went through all of the things, you know? A boy like Orville Taylor was born on a bed, 3-quarter bed, 4 picnic, running water in the house only when rain falls. Share a toilet with the rest of the community, that's true. Standpipe in the yard, that's true. And by the way, my bathroom in that community where I was born was non-aligned, politically neutral, because when I open the toilet and catch on politics, because I couldn't sit on that toilet. When we look down at the toilet, I say green and I say orange. There's a message behind that, but because the political website here, I'll leave that for another time. I think you get the message. I deal with hard work and integrity and try to be successful as human beings. Never ever put yourself in the position where you think that you're so high that you look down on your parents or the people who helped you to get there. You're at a point in your life right now where you know who are the people who like you for you. Look here. I have come graduation and some places to go. And I just drive up. Look here. I know what I am, you know. I know that I'm this thing called Dr. Orville Taylor, who drives up to a graduation where they say that limited space, I'm gonna walk straight up and I can't go to VIP. I'm aware of that. I drive up to a roadblock, I wind my window down and the police say, okay sir, I am aware of all of that. But that don't mean them really like me. A lot of the people are talking to me now, like me because I'm this thing called Dr. Taylor. Am I right or am I right? That don't frighten me. You are at this point aware of who your real friends are. The ones who you and them used to broke a one bun and piece of cheese and eat it together. You and your friends who you sit together and you run a little one boat and you mix up something and you eat. The members in your community, let me just tell you this by the way. You have absolutely no idea how much sacrifice your parents and your teachers made to get you where you are. You have no idea how many people in some of the communities that you come from who never got a chance to go to a school like Steths. And you take it for granted, you better not. If me can come from Kingston to come and recognize greatness, understand the tradition that you are coming through. Let me tell you this, people. You notice I said staff. Me not use the word ancillary nor auxiliary. Because the person who cleans this place, and by the way, Mr. Principal, you run a clean plant. As a matter of fact, when we go into the bathroom, I want to go to the male bathroom, and I purposefully go to the male students' bathroom. Because I know them would have come in at the teacher's room, because that one is always nice. Supposedly the dirtiest part of a school is the male bathroom. We can tell you that clean like my homework maths book in high school. Oh, you think I was a very good student? I was good in some ways. I wasn't good at math. I had a teacher. Oh, you want to hear some of the stories? I have 2 minutes. I have teachers used to tell me when I make it. By the way, and so to those of you teachers who encourage your youth, good. But I know some of the teachers also don't recognize your greatness, but you know it. The teachers who recognize your greatness is when it's soaking and you really reach. Yeah. I had a teacher who terrorized me. He was a terrible math teacher, and he didn't want to admit it. And he made fun of me all the time. And I tell him, look at me, poor little mug at me. And I was a little and black, looked like a thumbtack. A big, maga, weigh about 60 pounds. Lean us up. He came to me one day, Taylor. Yes, sir. Taylor. Yes, sir. Why is your head on the desk? Because I can't do the work. So I have arithmetic. So what? I have arithmetic sickness. So okay, I think that is funny. He said, Taylor. Yes, sir. You have a brother. I said, yes, sir. Taylor, you know how I know you have a brother? No, sir. Because one boy alone couldn't so done. Never mind what I said to people here. So, no, think me done? Watch me. I said, sir, so you're an only child. Another day said to me, Taylor. Yes, sir. Where's your homework? Well, and I like COVID, I have the dog, because I couldn't afford dog, because I had a dog that would fight for the car meal. And the ticket back. I got a ticket back with me, dog, yeah, man. So I do it dog, so I'm depriving my food. Man, one of the dog, push him away, and the dog, them is the first people come living in Jamaica. Yeah, push away a mongrel dog, by the way. You don't want to push him so hard. But a mongrel dog, if you push him, don't hit him too hard. If you push a mongrel dog, so push him. He will tell you who's the first people living in Jamaica. You know that, right? Push him and say, you never heard that. Anyway, the teacher was terrorizing me. So he said to me, Taylor, where's your homework? So I said, well, so I couldn't blame the dog, because I know I'm not a dog. So I said, I found it at home. Tell me to come at the front of the class. Taylor, tell the class. Turn up. You want to embarrass me now? Why didn't you forget yourself? And the whole class you must forget yourself next time. I'm like, sir, I forget myself in my mother sent me at lunchtime. You don't get detention, right? I wasn't a perfect student, but I knew that I had to put my shoulder to the wheel and succeed. Are you following me? So I don't want to create no story, but because I'm a nice introduction, I'm going to keep a whole heap of things. I'm going to go a whole heap of country. I'm going to talk to a whole heap of people. I'm going to talk in a whole heap of language. Speak about 4 and the language apart from English. Big deal. It no matter. But I knew I could do it. And the last lap now with me and my teacher, poor fellow, he came to me now, Taylor, I'm going to tell you something. Why this? Are you, tell me, do you make a special effort to be stupid? Guess what I said to him? Well, sir, I'm not a natural like you. You know, we get another detention. And finally he said to me, Taylor. Yes. Yes, sir. Let me want to be with myself now because I'm nervous, right? Because I'm just getting all the detention because of face. But he's terrorizing me and said, Taylor. You're a half idiot, Taylor. I'm to that. I must do that thing, you know. Taylor, you're a half idiot. I said, okay, sir. I said, Taylor, do you know why I call you a half idiot? I said, sir, I'm 13 and you're 26, right? And can I tell you that when I became Dr. Taylor and I visited his country, he was in Jamaica, and I went and I would look for him. And he saw me. And he looked at me. And I walked up to him and I hugged him. Because he didn't remember any of the pain that he caused me. And I was not going to remind him of any of the pain. I saw the pride in his eyes that I managed to make it. And I decided I was not going to take any revenge. Because if I was to put him down, I'd be a lesser person than he was. Am I right or am I right? You see, young people, stripped to my nakedness, I like me. Naked, me like me. Me like me with the big forehead. My head look like a saddle. My cock off ears. Me like me. Me like myself totally naked. Everything about my body I like because what I have is mine. Make sure that you like what you have, ladies. If you have a Coca-Cola bottle shape, enjoy it. If you have a Coca-Cola bottle shape but in the 2 liter, enjoy it same way. straight nose look like you have bird in your family, that's your nose. If your nose look like you have sweet pepper, you could become one of the most important people in this country. If your lips big and thick, if your lips big and thick, look like you eat honey and the bees them sting your palate. And your lips same way. And when you're naked and you look at yourself, remember, young men, let me tell you this. I like what I look like naked here. Me now borrow my brother one. That even my lend me can't hold on body in me. Mine is mine. But as we talk about integrity, integrity starts with self-love. Because if you love yourself, you face the reality about yourself. You don't have to pretend to be something less than you are, you know. You're one of the brightest people in the country. Me not pretend that. But it doesn't mean that I'm better than anybody else. Bolt is the fastest runner ever, but it doesn't make him a better human being. Me try to be a good human being to my mother, and my greatest success in my life was being Miss Ivy last son. My mother loved me, and me love my mother like, no, not even food, because sometimes I'm young. I never disrespected my mother. I worship my mother, and I'm thankful to God that I never brought my mother any kind of disgrace. Everything else I do, I try to succeed as a son. I still have more living to do, so I don't want to fail as a human being. But you must learn to continue to appreciate the other person. Treat the next person like how you want to be treated. Treat that female, you, all the boys look at me, all men, look at me. Man, look at me, you, over there, so do, all of them look at me. Pretend that that young lady that who's beside you, or the next one that you want to come over our house, or you go out with her, pretend that's your sister or your mother. One of the biggest words in the world is the shortest word, and it's no. If you say no, it means no, my youth, it means no. If she doesn't want to do it with you, she doesn't want to do it with you. Don't talk to her like how you don't want anybody to talk to your sister. And by the way, young men, I know that you have some women who feel that at a certain point, you must become minister of mining. I don't mind, you know. Because you don't really want, I've a little woman upside you, and you hold on for the money so tight, that Michael man, they drop off of the other one and see a girl alone left for them. You don't want that. You don't want to be so mean. But don't for any moment think that a man, ladies, is responsible for you. He's not your father. But at the same time, don't be a Titus. Because you see, the moment a man thinks that he must take care of you and he owns you, he then treats you like a subordinate and you'll never be a woman. Similar man. Not because you have to help her pay her bills. You think it's a motor vehicle or a house where you get a title for. At best, you have a lease agreement. She can terminate it anytime. Follow me? Ladies, take pride in your body. Take pride in your body. Be careful about the images that you share. Because the child, let me tell you, the law says at 16, you can share your body legally. But you can't share a picture of your genitals if you are under 18. You and the person who gets it will be guilty of child pornography. And in any event, why would you want to do that anyway? Respect your body. And by the way, finally before I go, I wear a lot of black. Not because there's anything wrong with anybody else's complexion, but I'm black. I'm trying to catch a color that I used to have. They called me Tar Baby in high school. I lost some of it. From the start, Paris, Mr. Wellington, and take some of it. Look, I was a red man when we just went. No, you get darker, you know, don't it? You get darker, man. What about the color? I love black. I wear a lot of black. I have 3 bathrooms in my house. My personal bathroom and toilet black. I have no other clothes except black and dark gray. None. My underwear black. As a matter of fact, between Malta and Dragon, so you know so that black too. I like me. But the fact that I like my blackness doesn't mean that I think that somebody who's Indian, Chinese, or Caucasian is inferior to me. Me just like me. Are you getting it? Yes. And for those of you who think that nothing wrong is going to happen to your body because you start rubbing, tell you something. You know the difference between a cashew and a peanut, young man? Well, the more you rub, the more the cashew turn peanut. You don't get it. You ever wonder how come cartel can say, You ever wonder? Women, don't play with your body. Don't take chances with your body. Those bleaching creams, don't touch them. If you're touching them, let them go. They will shrink your womb. They will make you have all kinds of complications later on. Done. We don't talk to Uno. But since you come here too, parents, I really want to thank you. I really want to thank you for sticking up for your children. And for those of you who are not biological parents, those of you who are there, and for your picnic, you never enjoy the pleasure of bringing them here. But the pleasure of that little child peeping on you for the first time. Let me tell you, the first time my nephew do upon me, it was a pleasure. I'm not joking. My nephew, he lift him up on a peer, do the and I look at him and say, Dada, Uncle. What's doing? Yeah. But you know the struggle. I know what it's like when you get up in the morning. I never breastfeed it, obviously, but I know what it's like to wake up and make formula, not just for my niece and nephew, but on my picnic, but straight into my adopted son. I have a 39-year-old adopted son. He's the greatest thing God could have given me. He's not my absolute man. So those of you who are parents, those of you who are just relatives, those of you who are members of the community, I know you understand that you are raising the next generation. The members of the support staff, I want to thank you for helping to run a great plant here, for keeping well with Mr. Wellington and the staff here sober and put them in a place. And I want to thank you, dedicated teachers, including those of you who squeeze off lunch money to the people them when them not have none. I know the experience. Thank you. Thank you. But most of all, thank you, Steths. Thank you, graduating class of 2023, for making me welcome again. But my motives are also selfish. Because I came here because I know that this is a great school. I know that this is a great tradition. And I know that there are members of this class on this podium now who are going to come to me in another 5 or 10 years and say, Sir, you remember you were right about me. Class of 2023, you are great. You're going to be greater than you imagine. God bless you. Yo, come back, Kingston. Clap better than that.
I think we should all stand and give Dr. Taylor a resounding round of applause, because I know we would sit and listen to him all day, but because we have to move on. To properly say thank you to Dr. Taylor. Dr. Taylor, let me invite you. Right. Thank you, Williams. Will now officially say thank you to Dr. Taylor.
No. No.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Taylor.
Hey, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. I'll check out your background here. Don't you nice? Don't. Clap on them, man.
Dr. Taylor, on behalf of the chairman and the board of governors, the principal, vice principals, distinguished guests, staff, parents, and the graduating class of 2023, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here and address us on this very special day. I can assure you that we have listened and that we will utilize the seeds of wisdom that you have sown to achieve the fruits of our endeavors. We are extremely thankful. We're extremely thankful for your presence here today. And to properly express this, we would like to present to you a token to show our appreciation. We hope that whenever you utilize this or whenever you see it, you will remember this noble institution resting in St. Elizabeth that always live up to our mantra, work and integrity. Thank you again and have a safe journey.
Look here. Look here. Open and take none of this for granted here. Don't take any of these children for granted. And you might have missed it in the introduction that my first love is art. Yeah, teacher. You're a teacher first, than anything else. I'm a better artist than anything else that I am. No, we can't paint. Bad, man. Wicked. If I was a crime in that prison. But there was something else when I met this young lady earlier on. And I told her, tell them what I told you to say.
And I should tell my parents that they're proud of them, of how they're raising me.
You me say? Just the way, I didn't know her enough, but you can tell the fruits, the womb from the fruits. Now so, the way this child represented herself earlier on, I said to myself, oh my God, never mind the negative when people are talking about, you know, the generation here, yeah? Everyone of them feel bad egg, but most youth are good youth. She, you know, our parents, you know, but going to do a good job. You're doing a very, very, very good job. I don't know who your parents are either, but where your parents is, Pip, stand up, let me see you. Hey! You just make sure that when I see you successful, right, you remind me that don't ever disrespect your mother and father.
Thank you, and just to acknowledge too that this is Sabrina Dale, and this painting is a fruit of her labor. So she's a painter of this piece. She's a 9th grade student here at Steths. All right, so moving on, we will hear from our valedictorian shortly, but before, quick announcement, Toyota Auris, registered 3285JA, that's Toyota Auris, 3285JA. The driver, you are blocking, you are kindly asked to remove your car, you are blocking. Thank you. We also have magazines on sale. So this is a 60th Jubilee magazine on sale. So you can get that for $2,000 a copy after. I would just like to formally or officially acknowledge the presence of Councillor Christopher Williams and Zulika Jess. Welcome. All right, we have some very special persons on the platform, and I will be inviting them to come very quickly at the front so we can just tell you who they are. And this is just to motivate our graduates, because these special persons are past students, so they were once seated where you are now. So they will come. We have Miss Kimari Spence. Kimmery is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, where she obtained a Bachelor of Science in Banking and Finance. She's also a model, and she entered the Miss Grand Jamaica competition in 2020. We have Mr. Ramiz Robinson, who is currently a recruiting administrator in the JDF. And he is a former Mr. Steths. We have Oyuki Wright, Mr. Wright. He studied at the Queen's University in Illinois in the USA, where he majored in business management and finance. He's a passionate pastor, so if you see him. And he's also a former track student. Yes, he used to burn up Steths track and represent us very well. Good to see you, Oyuki. We have Mr. Darnell Gordon, who is an entrepreneur, owner of DG Car Rental. Mr. Khalil Barrett, who is a police officer in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and he's also an entrepreneur. By no means least, we have a lovely lady in the form of Mrs. Nelisha Brownwint. We see this face very regularly, which is very good, because she's the president of the Steths PTA, vice chairman of the Steths board, and she's also chief public health inspector with the St. Elizabeth Health Department. So put your hands together for our very special platform party, members of the platform party. This is just to show you that greatness and excellence. It's right here at Steths. So in a few years, I'm looking forward to seeing some of our representatives on batch 2023 seated here. Deal? Is that a deal? Big deal. Okay. So at this time, we will hear from our two valedictorians the reflection, and this will be read by Davane Ebanks and Jada Lee James.
See.
Chairman of the school board, Mr. Yannick Watson, Principal, Mr. Keith Wellington, Vice Principals, Mrs. Sandra Holness and Mr. Nigel Kogo, Guest Speaker, Dr. Orville Taylor, Mr. Gregory King, Education Officer for Region 5, Member of Parliament, Delroy Slowly, Councillor Christopher Williams, other distinguished guest members on the platform, specially invited guests, members of the academic, administrative, and ancillary staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the esteemed graduating class of 2023. Given the temperature, it is only suitable to warmly greet you all.
It is with great pleasure that we deliver the reflection on behalf of the graduating class of 2023. What a momentous 5 years it has been. We fell, we broke, we failed, but we rose, healed, and overcame our battles to unlock the hunger of the lion within us. The lion is not the biggest, nor smartest, neither is he the fastest. But against those odds, he is accredited the role of the king of jungle due to his ability to dominate a given habitat. How do we compare? A few may ask. Let us compare our time and the experiences with a lion's journey through the wild. It is quite evident that we are not the biggest, smartest, or even the fastest who have set foot in this prestigious institution. But as we celebrate our expedition and reflect on our past, I can confidently state that we are a diverse set of students who occupy a mentality that is calm but alert, relaxed but ready, smooth but sharp, and humble but confident.
Some of us perceive graduation as just an event in which we wear our yellow gowns as we march through the crowd and then remain seated for several hours as ceremonial words echo through our eardrums. However, graduation can be referred to as the successful completion of a degree or course, but for us seated here today, it exceeds that importance as we reflect on our memories and celebrate the transition from our secondary academic journey.
It all began 5 years ago in 2018, when approximately 315 of us from different backgrounds with our diverse personalities poured into the heavenly, eye-catching blue and yellow gates of Steths. Our expectations were through the roof, being that our little minds were not settled, and we thought it was a stepping stone to the real goal. Intense adrenaline rushed through our bodies as we dared to roam the stretch of 7th grade block. But unfortunately, we were humbled by Miss Alexander, whose voice rang from the end of the block like a medieval church bell. Hey man, where's your class? Answer me. You should be outside at this time.
As we reflect on 5 amazing yet nerve-wracking years, how can we forget some of the eventful moments? If for once you thought Miss Nelson would not show up for our Spanish class, even when it was the biggest concert of the year, my fellow students, you had a next thing coming. This illustrious institution administered conventional triads and attributes which prepared us for the next chapter ahead, which was the 8th grade.
We are big people now. Or so we had thought, being that without being aware of all the responsibilities that we would have to fulfill. The words from our very own recording artist Dexter upstage. Spread your wings, nothing is impossible. And as students of this great institution, we are taught to keenly follow instructions. Now, how can we forget when one of our fellow graduates literally spread their wings and soared like an eagle over the visual arts reel? Regardless of the hype, it was a time when we were all like superheroes. So she got up and continued to save the day.
The days faded quicker than ever, and in no time, we were in our 2nd term in the 8th grade. We thought we would have continued on our usual expedition, but nothing prepared us for the dreaded COVID-19 pandemic that hit the world in March 2020. When we heard that all schools should be closed for 2 weeks, we were excited. But that turned out to be the longest 2 weeks because it evolved into 2 long years. We were thrust out of our physical environment and into the virtual space where online learning became our new norm. Oh, what a challenging time it was, because even though we are in the digital era, learning online was very different because we were away from our physical school environment and in an environment where we had to make the best use of our teachers' voices and the ability to navigate our way like lions through the virtual space to acquire the learning material.
The days went by so quickly that we could barely notice that we had arrived at the most consequential stop at the secondary level of our academic journey. We were tasked with the responsibility of selecting 18 subjects online, which included all 3 sciences, which we had never done in our lives. Our little minds became unsettled once more as we got a true feeling of our new mode of learning, the famous Google Classroom. Our anxious little fingers slammed against our keyboard as we typed in each unique code for specific classes with so many questions.
Hiding out deep down. Yeah, yeah. I know, I've heard that you let your feelings show. It's the only way to make friendships grow. And I'm not afraid now. Yeah, yeah. I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a force with no brakes. I'm in there.
I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, show you how strong I am.
I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around,
Yeah. So we're gonna swan and give thanks. Oh, all the credits them put up their hand in the ear. All the credits them put them on their ear. You know we're gonna do it in our style.
Live on YouTube.
And what a powerful message to start from our graduates. Well done, graduates. So we are at the point where we will be presenting our graduates with their certificates. And to do this, we'll be inviting the grade 11 form teachers. So Mr. Coley, Mr. Gale, Miss Swedy, Miss Powell, Mrs. Tyndale, Miss Lyons, Mr. Adams, Mr. Price, and Miss Wright. So the names will be so we'll invite Mrs. Hornes and Mr. Kogo to make the presentations to the graduates. Close your doors. Jamar Chambers. Keisha Edwards. Marika Donalds. Joanna Garden. Jalen Dawkins. Alright, we're kindly asking the parents and well-wishers who are taking pictures. We're kindly asking if you have photographers who are responsible for that. We're kindly asking that you do not bundle at the front of the stage. We're asking you kindly. We're asking you to go back to your seats. Go back to your chair. We can't proceed if you do not go back to your chairs. Parents and relatives who are still in the middle, between the two tents, we're kindly asking you to return to your chairs. Take a peek and return to your chair, but we cannot afford for you to be bundling. Brian Martin. Aishana Hall. Talicia McLeish. Daniel Grant. D'Angelo Cowan. Britannia Lewis. Jaden Reese. Najee Brown. Shariel Ritchie. Juliet Smith. Sean Williams. Miguel Dennis. Shanika Simpson. Shamoya Anderson. Miguel Dennis. Rajni Cole. Shamoya Anderson. Karen White. Dante Evans. Javion Ramon. Stephanie K. Christina Bent.
Oh, Christina!
Omario Gudu. Griffiths. Sol Graham. Ishmael Roberts. Romain Ransomu.
Go, Romain!
Jonah. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, yeah.
Sandrine McIntosh. Tashani Lee. Ebony Salmon. Jaleel Rochester.
Miss.
Brianna Scott. Tashan Mindley.
David Brown.
Kelvin Wilson.
According to the program. Where did you want to take? No, but
Sander Paul Miller.
Aiden Coleman.
Wing. Okay, if we get one, take one.
Michael Williams.
Anise Scott.
Khalil McLeish.
Which is right, mommy.
Abigail Wright.
Kristen Wright.
Norville Ricketts.
Kanal Powell.
Bethany Banton.
Davia Brown.
Atoy Romance.
Malik Samon.
Gabriel Campbell.
Trisha Lee Cooper.
Hey, Chrissy!
I'm going to take the photo and break. Okay.
Jaheen Samuels.
Before we continue, parents, again, we're making an appeal. You are bundling, and we agree to allow you to take a pic and move on, but we cannot allow you to bundle.
Miss.
We're asking you kindly.
Mirror, I don't know.
Oh, Chrissy!
But the thing is that anybody when they see that, they can go back and see it. They must send it out. So.
Malik Samon. Samar Smith. Emil West. Alexis Green. Jamie James. Trayvon Williams. Tyrese Williams. Sanique Mattis. Dana Myers. Deidre Wilson. Jari Wilson. Son. Alicia Taylor.
Go, Chelsea!
Samir Blake. Kevin Crow. Rowana Thomas. Abigail Wellington. Damar Freeburn. Roy Hutchinson. Denicia Bowen.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse
Jane
me.
Lemar. Damian McCubin. Okelia Pope. Andre Poison. Ramsey Burley. Brianna Carter.
Excuse me.
Shantoya Dixon. Lisa Ann Collins. We'll invite Mr. Imran Adams and Mrs. Latoya Tyndale.
I want to song come about me, but I'm not song. So I said, okay.
Malcolm Dennis. Tajay Chin. Sante Gordon.
Hello, sir. Don't walk across this one.
Jessica S.
Delojante Henry.
Sabi Iba.
Nine Garrett.
Alina Johnson.
Antoine Michael.
Lucian Lewis.
Tiffany Neves.
Jaminisha Lewis. Andre McGregor.
Ashley Morgan.
Akela Miller.
When you come up, just make a standing ovation to him. Everybody get the seat up.
Ricky Williams.
Rashawn McKenzie.
DeAndre Wint.
Regina Rota.
Tajay Watson.
Radine Stone.
Jamelia Wright.
Rolista Ray.
Antoine Fletcher.
Amani Barrett.
Delia Chandler. Julius Lawson.
Jordani Jackson.
Sabina Dawkins.
Akira Clark.
Aquino Palmer.
Joel McLean.
Sonali Hall.
Tresha Elliott.
Damani Simpson. Adrika Lawrence.
And Dwayne Robbins.
That's good enough.
Kiwan Baker.
Nigella Holmes.
Sabrina Morgan. Just a quick announcement. We're kind of asking the students, the graduates who have already received their certificates, kind of return to your chairs. You are not supposed to be anywhere else except on the stage at this moment. So the graduates who have already received, we're making a final appeal to the parents who are bundling. Time is going on, we really need to get the rest of the awards out of the way.
They have awards.
Akil Foster.
Safari Wisdom.
Jada Roder.
Shanti Honigan.
Tyrese Nathan.
You getting out, George?
Yeah, we can't feel better than that.
Donnelly McKay.
Right.
When I watch it later, then see himself.
Romain Honigan. Brianna Stanley. Kevon Robinson.
Trevor Wright.
Danielle Wilson.
Shakira Chambers.
Excuse me.
Danico Swaby. Danelia Black.
Radeem Wire.
Just continue.
Matthew Wilson.
Princess Dawn.
Chloe Campbell.
Hey Holloway.
Dwayne Brown.
Daniel Reed.
Hello, miss.
Denelia Dowdy.
Hello, miss.
Khalil Miller. Brittany Hayes.
Donnelly Fletcher.
Alex Thompson.
Gerald Lindo.
Shanique McFarlane.
Devon Dyer.
Andrea Lewis.
Sunny
Steve Burton.
Pete Busey.
Shanai! Shanai!
Miller.
Shakira Johnson.
Reese Lockley.
Mario White. Asanya Miller.